Well, folks, welcome to another edition of Why I Joined eXp. I'm your host, Bryon Howard in Calgary, Alberta. And today I have on the call here, Bill Dolloff. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bryon. It's really exciting to be here. I got your email about the podcast, and I was really just looking forward to this opportunity to share some ideas about the real estate business with you.
Bill, we connected and, kind of funnily, like through our eXp platform, our system, our model on workplace chat. And I just noticed you as sharing on like just giving to the community. And I was like, wow, this guy seems really cool. He's interesting. He's just sharing, tips. Nobody asked him to. And I thank you for that.
This is one of the unique things about eXp is there's such great collaboration. I remember when my wife Connie and I were a husband-wife team, we'd go to the RE/MAX office, three times a month, do floor time, have some coffee, eat a muffin, talk to other agents about their dog and their grandkids, and that was about it. You really didn't talk about business. This collaboration in eXp is phenomenal. I mean, I remember my first login into the world, and I was listening to Brad Anderson talk for an hour about how to make your business better. And he told all the avatars, all the agents in the room there, while I'm talking for an hour, would you please write into the little chat box there on the computer screen one thing you do to make your customer experience better? So everybody's putting in all these cool ideas. And at the end of 1 hour, Brad says, I want you to right click on that with your mouse. It's going to copy all that. Now paste it into a Word document. You've got 150 suggestions on how to make your customer experience better from 150 agents all over the country you've never even met. I was sold. I was amazed.
That is awesome. Bill, tell us about your market. Where are you? And tell us a little bit about yourself, your family. How many kids do you have?
Yeah, I have 3 daughters. Their ages 38, 26, and 24, and 4 grandchildren in that package. My wife, Connie, and I actually went to high school together, and 35 years after high school, reconnected through Facebook. She was an agent in Charleston, South Carolina. I was here in southern New Hampshire looking to buy a house. And, well, a couple of years later, we were married here up in New Hampshire and doing real estate together in New Hampshire now. So we have a great partnership. She's really awesome, like the nuts and bolts of real estate, contract to close. I'm sort of the peripheral guy I go to the inspections, I do the social media marketing, things like that. So it's a great team. And we're in southern New Hampshire. I'm also licensed in Maine. Great market here.
Okay, southern New Hampshire and licensed in Maine. So do you do business in Maine as well?
Yes, we actually started doing significant business with people at the Naval Shipyard in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those people were saying, hey, I got friends that live in Maine and they would be interested in buying something up there. So it just made sense to get a license. So we've contemplated a Massachusetts license. Right now, we're just trying to keep up with the business we have and bring on some partners. So we're not going to get a Mass license yet, but that's could be in the works.
Oh, that's fantastic. I have a brother and a sister in Maine, funnily enough.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So Bill, you come from a military background, I think, prior to getting into real estate. I think your wife was in real estate prior to you, and you got in maybe in the last, I'm thinking 5 or 10 years.
Yep. She was a former Keller Williams agent. I'm sorry, a RE/MAX agent, and then was a owner of a
KW
franchise in Charleston, South Carolina. I retired from the Marine Corps in 1999. I worked in aerospace engineering for 15 years. And Connie and I, as I mentioned, we reconnected after 35 years after high school. So here we are in New Hampshire doing real estate together. It's a very great blend of our 2 different packages of skills, Mm-hmm. So we complement each other very well. And I think we have a good philosophy about our business. It's as ironic as it sounds, real estate's 90% about people and 10% about houses. When you think about it, I mean, there's trust, integrity, knowledge, understanding, compassion. There's so many intangible things about this business. Certainly the house is important, but if you treat people right, you're going to do well.
So I'm sure it's that exact thing that people love about the service you provide is treating people well. And tell me about some of your success in real estate sales, as well as you've been with eXp, I think probably just about a full 2 years, maybe 3 years. Is that right?
3 years, yeah.
And from moving from Remax to EXP, was that a hard transition? And how has your business been affected since that move, moving from a huge brokerage that's recognized worldwide, and to at that time especially pretty much a no-name brokerage, EXP.
Right. One of the things that we were doing at Remax is after a closing, we would just ask our clients, you thank you for your trust and confidence in us. And by the way, would it have mattered if we were with Remax or any other brokerage? What made the difference for you? And they said, it's strictly just you guys, you and Connie. You're the kind of people we wanted to work with, and that's what matters most. So we knew that we could take our business anywhere and be successful. Out of the blue, we just happened to get a call one day. We were thinking about moving out of Remax. We just felt like we were just doing regular old real estate. As much as we cared about people, the brokerage just felt like just routine. We wanted something a little more exciting. We started looking around, haphazardly got a call out of the blue from our sponsor with EXP. Thought about it for a couple of weeks and joined in late 2018. Actually, 2019, we spent the whole year just doing our business, building it up, exploring everything that EXP has to offer. Even tried to poke a few holes in it to see if it was real. Kept pinching ourselves. And every person we met was great. So it's been not only financially rewarding for us, but it's been fun. It's been interesting. It's been fascinating to see this country growing from, we were 14,000 agents when we joined. We're over 66,000 now, 17, 18 countries. It's just amazing to be part of such an incredible experience on top of doing real estate. And now it's like we just get up in the morning ready to go and go do something fun, serve some people. It's great.
Interesting. You mentioned when you joined, I guess it's 3 years, right? Yes. It was 14,000 agents. Today, I believe we're well over 60,000. I don't know if we're 63,000. At the same time, I was with Remax for 15 years before joining in February. And Remax currently has about 180,000 agents. It took them from 1973 till now to get to that number. And, it took since EXP was founded in 2009. It went from in 3 years ago, it got to 14,000. And, it's just whatever, that's 4 times now. And it's interesting. I think, do you know the goal of EXP where they think they'll be within, I think they're actually counting on 100,000 by the end of this year, but I guess you're going to miss that. Yeah. But I think they want to have do you know any of the numbers on that, on their growth plan or thoughts?
I do know that there's quite a bit of chatter about hitting 100 countries within 5 years. Mm-hmm. So we're at about 18 countries now. So I think there's a lot of countries that are already sort of whispering the EXP motto and logo and things like that. So I think that's a doable task right there. Mike Valdez, as you know, in charge of the international growth with a phenomenal team there. I think that'll happen. And I think as now we're at 65,000 agents exponentially now, we're going to, the months aren't going to be, we added another 300, 400, 500 agents. As we go forward in the next year, into 2022, it's going to be, we added another 1,100 or 1,400. And so the exponential growth is going to be phenomenal. And I think they'll probably hit 100,000 agents, not the end of this year, but probably close to around the end of the first quarter of next year.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Bill, actually, before we sort of hit record on this show, we talked a little bit about your success and you and your wife's success, and how, in fact, you're basically having your best year ever after coming from brokerages of Keller Williams and Remax, 2 big names. And then we talked about your Camelot, and that's part of the reason why you choose this system, this model, EXP. Tell us about tell us what is Camelot, and why did you choose this system and this model as it relates to Camelot?
Yeah, so there seems to be 7 prevailing areas that are most important for the success of a brokerage or an individual agent. And I kept categorizing those and expanding on them. I put together a PowerPoint presentation, so when I'm talking to agents, I can kind of relate to, what are they missing in their business? What do they need? it isn't just about presenting eXp and saying, hey, this is great for me, it should be for you, because everybody's got different needs. So I tried to figure out, how can I put that all in a package that they can remember? Sorry. And so Camelot was an acronym I created, and it basically stands for the 7 areas that are most important to a business, a brokerage, or an agent to be successful. So C in Camelot, C is the culture and collaboration, the sharing of information. You know, it's so much better when you share information and help each other than it is to just go to the RE/MAX office like we used to and drink coffee and eat donuts, and nobody ever really told you their secret sauce, because frankly it's your competition.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know in eXp, as we all grow and the business grows, we all benefit from that. A, the Camelot, CA, the A was the admin and support, of course. So there's so much great support from the admin part of this business. It's phenomenal to think that you can do this virtually, but you really can. It's great. M was the marketing and the growth. Such a fantastic background for this company in helping every agent do the marketing, not only just their business, but their properties as well. The education and training is unbelievable. I think we're up to like 65 or 70 classes a week now. Mm-hmm. In leads, we've now become certified by eXp for relocation. We're working on our REO training right now. We're building a nice relationship with other agents in other parts of the country. So somebody in Florida says, hey, I'm the eXp, I'm down here. I got somebody from New Hampshire who's relocating to Florida. They're going to become snowbirds, or they want to retire here. They call us up because they know us, and they say, hey, they got a house in New Hampshire they got to sell. So we built that up. So leads, ownership and financials is an O in Camelot. Talks about, you know, your split, your commissions, your stock awards, things like that. And then T is a technology. This is such a technology rooted company that just fascinates me. So those 7 areas spell out Camelot. And I thought, when I'm talking to somebody and I'm telling them about eXp, how can I put that in an acronym that they can remember? So just Camelot came to mind.
It's awesome. I really think it's great. When I was I share the difference in your departure from RE/MAX and my departure from RE/MAX. I was 15 years with RE/MAX, consistently a top producer, you know, in my office, in my city, in the country. Awesome. And I was never going to leave RE/MAX, like, you know, and not because I loved RE/MAX or I loved my office. It was primarily because it's well branded in my city, and the office is within a couple of blocks of my home, and I could walk there. Even though at times I'd have office in the office, or I'd have an office outside of my home and outside the office. But it was just, I was comfortable there, and to me, all brokerages were the same. It meant no difference. That was really how I felt. And then, you know, and I had been introduced to eXp probably as early as sort of 2017. And a good friend of mine joined the eXp in 2018. And when she joined, or thereabouts, maybe it was 2017, I was her very first call, and she followed up with me pretty much at least quarterly, but I was like not listening at all to the message. And then finally, for whatever reason, I just sort of, I actually don't know why, but I saw on social media, you know, an Instagram story from Coach Tom Ferry, and someone asked the question when I was kind of, for whatever reason, thinking about eXp. Should I be going? Because my good friend Simone was in the company and spoke highly of it. Someone asked the question, how important is brokerage, or state, you know, your brokerage? And Tom's answer to that question was, it's important. It's very important, especially when there's good collaboration. And when I saw that message, I said, okay, I'm leaving. It was easy as that, because the collaboration in my office that I've been with for 15 years in RE/MAX, actually with selling real estate for 20 years with Century 21, Keller Williams, actually I was with for a short time, and then 15 years with RE/MAX, as well as a couple other independents in the early years. Right. There was I'm not going to say no collaboration, especially when I first started with Century 21. It was a really nice office and there was collaboration. But my experience in my own office was very, very little collaboration. And that's when I moved. Completely different from your own experience. You were with RE/MAX and it's kind of like looking at, there must be a better way. And then you just kind of happened to get divine intervention and learned about eXp. I just want to sort of acknowledge that, I guess.
Yeah. 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 It's funny. I think I read the other day, one of the most expensive things we can have is a closed mind.
Hmm.
And I
Exactly.
read that and I went, wow, it's, I kind of joke about it here in New England because some people are pretty stubborn about their brand. And I say, you know what? Even when the Patriots are not winning and they're playing lousy, we love the Patriots. When the Red Sox are at the bottom of the heap, we love the Red Sox. It doesn't matter. So we're very brand loyal here. And I think it may go back all the way to the colonial days. I don't know.
Hmm.
But so sometimes I actually kind of, when I'm doing an agent attraction, I'll focus on maybe somebody that's got an international background
Hmm.
who maybe came here from a foreign country 3 or 4 years ago for the American dream.
Right.
Because a lot of those people actually have an open mind and are willing to say, hey, I want to take in everything that America can offer. So it's kind of an opportunity that we've taken up is to find some people that maybe have a little bit more open mind.
Interesting.
That's not to say that people here in New England don't have an open mind. There's plenty of them. It's just you got to speak to the right person. But um, and millennials tend to be sort of more open-minded usually.
Hmm.
Someone who's been in real estate for 35, 40 years with Remax and they're driving a 1995 Cadillac that says real estate on the license plate and they have no exit plan. They're going to stay in real estate till they're in the casket. You know, they're not going to go anywhere. They're sold.
I
But
love it. I love it. You say it can be expensive. How did you start that off? You can say
yeah,
it's expensive
I,
not
I,
to have an open mind.
right. A closed mind is
A
one of the
close.
most expensive things we can have is a closed mind. Think about
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
the opportunity lost with
Yeah,
that. You know.
exactly. I'm writing this down. One of the most expensive things we can have is a closed mind. Is that how you say
Yes.
that?
Yes.
I love it. And I'm guilty. Again, this friend of mine who was telling me about what she was loving about eXp. Today, she is, so she's been in 3 years. I think today she has freedom, financial freedom, time freedom,
Oh
and
yeah.
location freedom.
Oh,
And
isn't that
so
great?
she's in the, she's in the mentorship and the coaching in real estate is what she's doing. That's her model right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And so that's just fantastic for them. They recently, a year ago, stopped selling real estate and just focused on the mentorship and coaching. And in August of this year, actually it was September of this year, they sold everything they own, pretty much, adult children, and now they're kind of, I think they're in Mexico this week.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So
Freedom, time freedom. Isn't it amazing?
yeah, yeah. So that's right. And tell me a little bit about your wife and you and your partnership. What does she do? What do you do? And how do you work together? Are you one of those power real estate couples?
I think it's just that we're so complementary to each other. I mean, she has been in the business for so long and just knows she's intuitive. She kind of anticipates what's going to happen, and she's always ahead of the game. And um, she understands the nuances of the business from contract to close. And I'm kind of new to it. Like I said, I've been a licensed so 7 years, I guess now, and I'm still a little bit green in some areas.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of like the social butterfly. I'm out there, at the events and the home shows or whatever. So it's a great matchup between the two of us. Some people say, how do you work together, husband and wife? I could never work with my wife and my husband, I don't know. I guess we're just lucky to have each other and we do very well. We get up in the morning, we have our dry erase board with all our buyers and clients and stuff on there. We go through everybody. Okay, what's coming, what's happening today?
Mm-hmm.
Who's new that we need to be contacting this morning? Maybe we picked up a buyer or a seller last night or something. So in the virtual or in the idea of collaboration, we collaborate as just like eXp does. We share ideas, we share thoughts, but we also give ourselves independence to operate in our own world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not micromanaging her side of the business. She's not micromanaging mine, but we're always available for each other to bounce things off. So having two brains is
Mm-hmm.
really good.
That's great. That's great. Oh, fantastic. And so what are you finding easy these days? What's easy for you?
It's easy to be happy. It's easy to get up in the morning and go to work.
Nice.
Those are really cool things. We're not working at, you know, we're working at a feverish pace, but we're actually enjoying the feverish pace. So it's easy to work. It's easy to do what we do. It's not like getting up in the morning and like I used to work in the aerospace industry for 15 years. It was like, oh, it's the 28th of the month. We've got to get all this product out. The contract says it's got to ship on this certain day, and we got a bunch of testing to do. And you know, there's still real estate has its demands for sure. But when you're motivated and excited and happy about what you're doing, all those demands just seem to be much easier to handle. So it's just really easy to be successful at what we're doing because we're enjoying it. And eXp has made this such an easy opportunity for us. It really has changed our lives.
Oh, that's exciting. Is there anything exciting coming up for you and your wife that we should know about? Are you going to be at the what is it called eXp Con or do you go to those events? There's one coming up in November.
Yeah, we were going to go, and then we actually had a trip planned to go to Nashville, then on to eXpCon, and then down to San Diego for the NAR conference. But we looked at our plan for 2022 and how we want to increase our agent attraction efforts and so forth. And we thought, let's regroup and see what we can do with our money, because it was going to be a pretty expensive trip just to do all that, of course. And we thought maybe there's something we can do to get things kicked off for 2022. So we're looking at some local events here in New Hampshire for agent attraction and putting our efforts and time into that. We did go to eXpCon in 2019, the 10-year anniversary. What an amazing experience. If you're an eXp agent, you need to go to eXpCon. I don't care if you go once or go 50 times. It really is an amazing experience. The feeling that you're in this giant family and everybody cares is very relevant. And the people, you know, Glenn Sanford, some of the other executives there, they're just so personable. We stood out by the pool in 2019 and talked to Glenn and other people, and it was the most unique experience I've ever had in real estate, and one of the most unique experiences I've ever had in life.
Wow, that is very cool. Yeah. Interesting. What you telling me about you and your wife, some of your future goals? Obviously the attraction. So we earn our, you know, in eXp, we have various ways of earning income versus other models, which is one way, and that was commission income. And so like me, you're interested in, I think, coaching and mentoring and attracting and encouraging people into this model. Sort of, how do you see that going in the next, say, 1 to 5 years?
Yeah, we're definitely going to be focusing a lot of our efforts next 5 years. We have a 5-year plan. We have some expectations in the 5 years. We'll have some investment properties down south. We have one right now in Charleston. We were looking for another investment property, maybe around Nashville or somewhere around there. So we're looking to do some investment properties as part of our financial portfolio. Good. Definitely agent attraction is big on our target list for next year, as it always is. So I think investment properties, we also want to expand our business. So we're going to bring in so we had a formal team with eXp, but we felt like we would be better served, and the agents in our team would be better served if we went to the informal team. So we just chose the informal team that works better for some, and the formal team is better for others. And we basically, the foundation of our team and the agents we bring in is we're a partnership. And we're a partnership because we want each other to succeed. So we are building our business to be able to give leads and referrals to the agents that we attract in, and help them get going and be successful. So I think in the next 5 years, building our partnership, expanding our business so we can support the partnership, and then having more fun. That's
awesome. You and your wife as a team, can you tell, maybe just to speak briefly to husband-wife teams, how's that work in eXp? What's the like in terms of financials? Are you finding that it's more expensive than your previous brokerage, or is it less expensive, or what's the win-win situation? Can you explain, maybe just touch on the caps as well, if you know them?
Yeah. So when we were with Remax, our cap was like, I think it was like 25,000. It was just, it was a challenge every year for us to get to capping it with them. So when we examined eXp and compared it to the other models at the end of 2018, right when we joined, I told Connie, I said, if 2019 we did the same sales that we just did in 2018, but did it with eXp, we could probably save ourselves about $17,000. That's in office fees, splits, commissions, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of 2019, I ran the numbers, and it was a little bit off. It was more like about 16.5.
Wow.
But that's how much we saved just by moving our license. Now, on top of that, we do the stock option with eXp. We can have 5% of our stock out of each commission check put aside, and they buy company stock at a 10% discount. So we've got a healthy portfolio. We also bought just eXp stock right off the street. We've got a healthy portfolio there of stock. Our rev share is doing well. One of the things that we did is I joined eXp first. Connie closed out some Remax deals, and then she moved over, and I sponsored her.
Mm-hmm.
We run a lot of our transactions through her, so I'm getting 3.5% commission off of Connie.
Oh, that's
for rev
great.
share.
Yeah.
So I just need to do some sales to keep up my FLQA status as well. But so, we're getting a significant portion of rev share from within our own team, our own husband wife team. So that's worked out really well.
Was the in terms of husband wife team, and I imagine that's kind of part of the niche that you might that you might mentor or bring under your wing. What is this? Do you know the split? Like I think one of you maybe is a $16,000 cap, and I should know this, but and the other is.
Yeah, we're both $16,000 cap.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and we've kind of realized that if we run a lot through her, if it probably would compromise my ability to cap if I don't do a lot of sales. We're doing a lot under her, so we're okay with that for now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'll build up over time, and I'll be doing more sales as we work further into the Maine market or into Massachusetts or whatever. So financially, it's been great to have that cap. That's at a $16,000 cap. Like I said, that was well below what we were doing with Remax. And so all in all, between the stocks, the rev share, and the savings on they're paying $85 a month to be in eXp, vice 5 something, with Remax. It's just a no-brainer for us.
Bill, I just want to say, I'm sitting here with you. I could be 2 blocks from my house in my Remax office beside the water cooler. And, but you just give, actually, and you're not the only one. There's lots of people in our organization of eXp just giving without any ask. And that's how we connected today. So, and this is our first time ever meeting. And I want to thank you for sharing so much. It's really unique what we have in this organization. And I'm sure that people like listening to this will be inspired somewhat, and maybe will want to reach out to you. And if they had questions, or just, you're giving without asking in our eXp platform. If people had questions or want to explore more about eXp, or even anything at all, what's the best way for people to reach you?
Well, the best way, they can call me directly, of course. My phone number is 603-361-7295. But we're also on Facebook. The Dolloff team is on Facebook. Got a couple of Instagram accounts. Dolloff team _ eXp Realty is one of them, and then Dolloff team _ NH for New Hampshire _ eXp Realty. And of course, you can find me, Bill Dolloff, on LinkedIn, as well as Connie. You can reach out to her, 843-224-1258. So there's a few ways to get a hold of us. We would be excited to share our philosophy about real estate with anybody. And if they're like, well, I just want to know about eXp, I'm really not ready to make a decision or whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll talk to anybody and just enjoy sharing our experiences with everybody. And we couldn't be happier with our business.
Bill, I appreciate that. I have 2 more questions. One's funny. Dolloff. It's Dolloff. Tell us about that name. Where'd it come from? Where are you from?
Well, that's interesting that you asked me that question. So I'm a ninth generation descendant of Christian Dolloff, who lived in Exeter, New Hampshire, when it was founded in 1638.
Wow, you're a long time American.
I'm a long time. So the family name has been in the area a long time. Quick story: Christian married Mary Moulton. She passed away at an early age. She married Sarah Scammon. They have seven children. The Scammon and Moulton names are very old in Exeter, New Hampshire. But anyway, some Indians came down from Canada and raided the area and kidnapped two of their children, a son and a daughter. Took them back to Canada. Christian took him a year to raise the ransom money, took it to Canada, paid the ransom money, brought his kids back. In the meantime, his daughter had married an Indian while she was in Canada, and she said, "I'm sorry, Dad, I appreciate that you love me and you want me here, but I got to go back to Canada." So he had paid the ransom, but she left to go back to Canada to live with her husband.
That's great.
So that's all documented in the Exeter Historical Society.
That's hilarious. Wow, I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
Bill, if you had do you have any ask for our listeners? Anyone? Any ask?
I think what would I ask our listeners? I would ask them to think about where you are in your real estate business today and where you want to be, honestly. And if you're happy and satisfied and you think you've got everything that you could possibly want in real estate, there's probably something that you're missing. So we just felt like we were where we were. It wasn't fantastic, but all the other brokerages are probably the same, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You've got to open your mind. As I said before, that expensive thing that we all have, that closed mind, if you just give yourself the opportunity to open your mind and think about, well, I'm satisfied with what I have, but could I be more satisfied? And it's not about being greedy. It's just about being financially secure, freedom, time freedom, as you mentioned before. It's out there. And if you just stop and ask yourself, could I do something even better? Ask yourself that question. Could I be doing something even better? It's out there. Trust me, it is.
I love it. I read recently a quote on something about giving, and the way to find happiness is to give. And this model, this system really encourages us to give. So it's therefore easy to be happy.
Yeah, and that's another part of our business. I'll just quickly note, we're part of the Homes for Heroes affiliation, so we give back to firefighters, teachers, healthcare workers, law enforcement, military. Give back part of our commission when they close with us. We give them back, I think it's like $123,000 of our commission to those people that serve our country and the community. So it's all about people. Like I said, 90% about people, 10% about houses.
Mm-hmm. It's relationships. Bill,
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. We will include notes in the show notes to sort of connections and such. And thank you so much for being on the show.
I really appreciate it, Bryon. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Look forward to doing a transaction with you sometime.
Well, that would be great. At least we'll see you and we'll keep connecting.
Yes, definitely.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you very much, sir.